Welcome to the Zen Zone. Zen Lee here. We have the biggest EUC race in history about to take place here in the United States, hosted by TEF.ONE. These guys have organized some amazing races here in the US, and this is going to be, I think, the biggest one yet, with over 70 only EUC racers. There's tons of other racers that are registered, but we're talking 70 plus EUC racers, plus, you know, however many S-skate, E-skate, scooters. Actually, the scooter class was canceled, and e-bikes competing on this track. In this video, this is a speculation video. The one sport I like is UFC. I love to watch UFC, and sometimes I'll even make some wagers on UFCs. You know, you speculate on which fighters you think are going to win. We're going to do that same thing in this video, except instead of fighters, we're going to look at wheels. Which wheels would I bet money on? And I think my list may surprise you, but first, we need to look at the circuit that we are going to be racing on, because each circuit is different and it has different features, and some wheels are better at tackling those features than other wheels. Some fighters are better matchups against other fighters. Maybe they're better at ground. I think you understand my analogy. Let's go ahead and get into it. Let's look at this racetrack. This is the Sonoma Raceway Karting Center. This video was taken 7 months ago. I have ridden on this circuit. I couldn't find all my drone footage or my 360 footage. It was a long time ago. I could only find like 5 seconds of me riding on it, but I have ridden on this, and you're gonna see one of the main features right away. Let's turn this down a bit. There's a lot of cracks in this circuit. There's a lot of cracks. Now they maybe have filled them in. This was 7 months ago, but when I was there were a lot of cracks. Now for EUC, I don't think this is too big of an issue. All right, let's watch from this perspective here. This is the longest straight, I think, and it comes into this hairpin, very similar to Apple Valley. The Apple Valley guys are probably going to dominate this track, because I feel like it is so similar to Apple Valley in a lot of ways. Man, those cracks are massive. Whew, those cracks are big. I feel like E-skate may have some problems. I feel like EUC may have some problems with these cracks. That is a feature we need to consider. You're going to want a bigger, wider tire, in my opinion. If you have a narrow tire, it may get caught in those cracks. Also, definitely probably going to want some suspension. So I think, no, we haven't done one lap yet. We're still going into the first lap. Some nice turns here. Huge crack there. Definitely don't want to get caught in that. So that's going to kind of funnel people into a specific area. This is the last turn, coming into the longest straight. Uh-oh, did we lose our video? Nope, okay. It's the longest straight. And, oh, I think we could see his speed. Can we see his speed? No, maybe it's just his lap times. So this is like maybe not even a mile long. I don't think the circuit is even a mile long. And it doesn't look like there's any major straights to me. It does not look like there's any. I do not think anyone will get past 55, 60 miles per hour. If they do, they're probably going to go off the track. This is the straights just don't seem so big. Maybe here might be able to hit 40, 50. It's not a huge high-speed circuit. I think some people think that it is. So this is going to affect my tier list, essentially, on which this is actually a pretty long straight, but still, I don't think they're going to hit faster than 55 on that straight. And coming into the longest straight, I don't think it's that. Yeah, I don't think it's a high-speed circuit. All right, so we've looked at the circuit. Now let's talk about what I think are going to be the most dominant wheels on this circuit. Let's start with the emotional wheels, right? The emotional wheels. Starting with the P6. I don't think the P6 is new launch. Is there P6 on here? No, there is no P6 on this website yet. But I feel like if Emotion does not bring the P6 to this race, it's a huge opportunity. Imagine Zach, Max, and Brian all showing up with their Emotion leathers custom made on the newest, most powerful wheel, fastest wheel. I don't know if it's most powerful. I think it's safe to say it's most powerful. Definitely confirmed, probably the fastest wheel ever made, showing up in their Emotion leathers, or just reeking aura from not reeking. That's a negative word. Just like emanating aura from being to China, having tested this wheel. They're training on race circuits, riding almost every day. They're young, they're fit, they're healthy. They are coming for those podiums. So I think it's safe to say that the inmotion P6 is a top tier racing wheel. On this circuit though, the question remains, does it have enough torque to compete against what I think are the S tier wheels on this circuit? Now, we know it has the top speed, but the top speed is not going to matter so much on this circuit. So I feel like the advantage of the P6, its top speed is not going to come into effect here, but it has 3 of the best racers on it. It does seem to have a lot of torque. The question is, does it have more torque than some of the current offerings? If it does, then yes, I think it is an S tier racing wheel. I think there is a chance that inmotion gets all 3 podiums and leaves everybody in the dust. But I don't, that's not where I would put most of my money. All right, we'll get into my top tier. There's 2 wheels that I think are top tier. I don't actually know what tire size the P6 is. I hope it's 90/90. Okay, now let's get into another new wheel, a wheel I have, the ebikes. Let's see, we got this. All right, this is a wheel I have. I'm still testing it. I've had it for 2 days now, and I have some more riding footage coming up. This wheel is a great racing wheel. Is it an S tier racing wheel? Can it compete against the P6 on this circuit? Again, guys, we are talking about this specific Sonoma racing karting circuit. Can the ebikes race keep up with the P6 on this circuit? My answer is I think there are better ebikes wheels for this specific circuit. The biggest reason I want to cover it in my review, but I think we can go ahead and say it here, is that there is not a tire I can find, a 90/90 tire that will fit on this. Maybe, I mean, just the 80/90 tire that's on it already is already super tight in there. So I just think there's zero chance of putting a 90/90 tire on this wheel, which I think is a huge missed opportunity. In my review, it's pretty much my only negative that I have so far. After 70 miles of wheel, I'm going to test this wheel a lot more. I don't think I should review it till after I race it. But this 80/90 tire that's on it is super aggressive. It's very angular, so it causes pedal scrapes very easily. And if you can't control those pedal scrapes in the heat of the moment, you may end up like me at TEF.ONE, where you hit your pedals and then you fly off the track. So that is a real possibility. You can raise up the pedals on this wheel, but the tire is still so angular. It's a very aggressive attacking tire for that inside line. You're going to be wanting to attack the inside line with this wheel. But because it's such an angular tire, even with the pedals at the higher setting, I'm seeing people scrape with this wheel. I think I'm going to leave it on the lower settings, maybe put it on the medium settings, and just try to pivot off that scrape. I'm not putting this as a S tier racing wheel. I think there are 2 ebikes wheels that are better. Let's look at another wheel that I think is a wild card. All right, here it is, the Extreme Bull Rocket. I feel like this is a wild card. I have not ridden this wheel, but it's 168 volts with a super thick tire and good suspension. The QC issues have not been so good on this wheel, but Roger is loving his wheel. I could picture Roger showing up with this circuit, and it would be hilarious to watch him dominate all the P6s, all the races, all the top tier racing wheels with this little guy. So it's a wild card for me. I don't know how I would bet on this wheel. I don't know if Roger will even bring it, but I hope he does. Because, I mean, it's 168 volts. What's the top speed on this? The top cruising speed, 43 miles per hour. But I think it could hit faster than that, right? Hasn't Roger done like 50 miles on this? I don't think he'll be going faster than 50 miles on this wheel. And if he puts like a street racing tire on this wheel, oh my gosh, it would be hilarious. I would love to see it. And I think, man, it would be awesome if he did. If he got like a first place podium or even just a podium on this wheel, it would be like, holy cow. So that is a wild card for me. I'm curious what your thoughts are on this wheel. Let's go ahead and get into another wheel that I have. All right, so here is another wheel I have, the Oryx, and I will be bringing both my Oryx and my race. Now, the Oryx, super big tire, super stable. I don't want to rate this too high. I don't think it's S tier, but I'm not ruling out that it's an A tier wheel on this circuit because it does have a good amount of torque. The problem is it doesn't have enough torque to catch up to the top tier wheels. It's too heavy, but like that weight is not too noticeable. And I do think there is a chance that it gets a podium. There is a chance because of all those cracks, because of all the tight turns. This wheel turns in corners so well. And man, with all those cracks, I feel like it could just mow over those cracks, no problem. The suspension is so good for racing type of circuits. I really think this is, I would say A-, B+ tier. The Sherman L, also, I would actually rate, I think a little bit below the Oryx. I think I would put the Sherman L at like B-. For the Lynx. The Lynx is the Lynx still being sold? Huh? Okay, here we have the Lynx, limited stock here. Now, I think the Lynx is above the Oryx and the Sherman L if it has a 90/90 tire, which I don't think any of the racers here in the US have the European modification, which allows you to put on a 99 tire. Now, if some Europeans showed up with a Lynx on a 90/90 tire, I would be scared on this circuit. I would be very scared. I'd be like, oh my gosh, my chances of winning a podium, which are already very low, have just went down by a large margin. Like, because a 90/90 tire on this Lynx on that circuit, I don't want to put it S tier, but I would put it A+. Now with the 80/90, I think it drops down to B+. And right, yeah, I think that's fair to say, B+. So those are the Leaper Kim wheels. Let's go ahead and get into the wheels I think are S+ tier. I don't know if eWheels has them. I have a discount code now. Oh, you guys aren't seeing this, but Bigode has just messaged me. Oh, you can kind of see it here. So I have a discount code for the Bigode race if you were interested in the Bigode race. Let's see how much of a discount this actually is and if it works. So add to cart, close the chat, go to my cart, cancel the C8. I was thinking about buying the C8 for $1,200. Check out, discount code, boom, apply. Huh? $150 off, okay. All right, that is a significant discount code on this wheel, bringing it down to $2,840. So yeah, now if you're buying it to be an S tier racing wheel, again, it doesn't have the 99 tire, but it has a huge battery on it. I love this wheel. It gets an immense amount of range, has an immense amount of power. My only complaint so far, after reviewing it for 70 miles, is that it doesn't have a 99 tire. Okay, so but Go does have two wheels that I think. Here's number one. Xway, 168 volts, put a 90/90 tire on there, and I think this is the wheel I think has the best chance of getting a podium. A 168 volt Xway. The torque is insane on this wheel. I don't think the P6 will have more torque than this wheel. I feel like Zach on this wheel versus Zach on the P6 will get more torque on the Xway. 168 volts. If he has a 90/90 tire on it, I think this is an S tier plus wheel for this particular track. And I really kind of wish I had one. I kind of want to trade my race wheel for an Xway with the 90/90 tire on it so that I have a chance of getting a podium. But I'm just going to at least, even though I don't have even if I had an Xway 168 volt, beating these young kids is just really hard to do. So I think if there was an over 40, I would for sure, almost for sure, get a podium. Roger, Salcedo, and me would probably be the three on the podium, but I have to race against these young kids. So even if I have the best racing wheel with the most advantages, it's going to be hard to beat these guys on any wheel. So this is my S tier pick. I feel like the 168 volt Xway is an S tier pick. And then my other S tier pick from Bigode is this one. The Blitz Pro 168 volt street tire, but you need a 90/90 on it. This is an S tier wheel in my opinion. I feel like the Xway and the Blitz Pro are my two top picks for this particular circuit. I don't know much about the 134 volts. Maybe those can still be competitive because there's not a huge amount of top speed needed. But the 168 volts, I mean, I feel like it's just more of an advantage. I wouldn't be surprised to see the 134 volt wheels get a podium if they have 90/90 tires. The 90/90 tires, guys, ever since it started in Spain where they put a 90/90 tire on, they just started gapping me. I was super competitive with at least second and first place. I think you see my viral video where I was racing. But then those two guys, Leania and Steven, put a 90/90 tire on their wheel, and then I was never even close to them again after that. So, and then the Americans now are almost all starting to use the 90/90 tires on the Blitz Pro and Xway, and they are starting to be the ones to get the podium. So that extra bit of width, guys, is not to be underrated because it's more surface area to push off of. It doesn't matter how much torque the wheel has if you can't press down onto the tire. The tire is the foundational, the roots. You have to have a strong root into the earth to push down upon to get torque. Doesn't matter what the specs are if you don't have a good tire. The tire is the foundational layer. So those are my picks for the top wheels. I don't know. Let's take a quick look to see if there's any wild cards here. Any wheel actually could probably do any like racing wheel, even like 134 volt master in the right hands might be good on the circuit. We've covered the Leaperkin wheels, the Panther. I would put it maybe a little bit less than the Oryx. I don't know, it's a tough one. I was actually racing the Panther, not racing, but using the Panther on the E-Skate circuit, and it cornered really well. That tire was really well, and the suspension just sank into those corners. So a big dude on a Panther, maybe, who knows. But I'm taking the Blitz Pro Xway to be my top tiers. Then I would say P6 and the race. P6 above the race. And when I say race, I mean the Big Goat race, the 210 volt wheel. The Lynx with the 99 tire could be competitive. The Extreme Bull Rocket could be competitive. Maybe somebody on these littler 16-inch wheels could be competitive, like the B14 Extreme. I think those are my picks. V13, no. I think that's it. I'm curious what your picks are. Do you agree with my assessment? I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It's a speculation video, I know, but I love speculating on races. I love to bet. I don't really bet too much more on UFC, but I like still like trying to predict who's going to win. I like wheels now. Wheels are my passion, so I'm trying to put that passion into a video that may be interesting for you. And if it is, leaving a like, a comment, a share would be much appreciated. You have discount code ZENZONE for the Big Goat race if you want to get $150 off. That is a nice discount code. Also have discount code ZENZONE at eWheels, A-Lane rides. Actually, I kind of removed A-Lane rides from my recommended list. It's pretty much just eWheels right now that I'm recommending in the US, and OneRide.eu in Europe. Those are my recommended. If you have any recommended dealers, that's fine. It's great. These are mine. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and until next time, stay in the Zen Zone.